Chair, fellow members. I am a crone, a hag, a witch. A crone for crown of wisdom. Hag is from hagio, meaning holy. Witch. The witch is the herbalist, the healer, the wise woman. Wit, meaning wise. Sadly, through history, these words have become synonymous with evil, wicked, ugly. People became fearful of these wise women. Men became scared of their wisdom and their power. And so, through the Middle Ages, began the witch hunts. So here I am, moving forward into the third phase of my life, and I think back over the first two phases. The first phase is the maiden, carefree, innocent, independent. The maiden would also have been the spinster, the one that spun the yarn to make the clothes, the unmarried women. And again, sadly, this word has become misinterpreted. So, I am true to my Aquarian birth sign. I am nonconformist, determined, do my own thing. And through my life, I have followed my passions and my dreams. And so, I always wanted my own pony, and at 15, I bought Orinoco. I worked Saturdays in Woolworths in Swindon to pay for him. Halfway through my A-levels, I announced that I wanted to go and work with horses, but my father gave me some sage advice. Go and get educated. You can do your hobby when you want to. So I went off to college in Plymouth and trained as a chemistry teacher. But I realised that I really wasn't that keen on standing in front of 30-odd children trying to teach them something that they were really not interested in. And so when I came back to Swindon, I went and worked at the Royal Military College of Science at Swindon as an assistant scientific officer in the chemistry laboratories there. It's now called Cranfield, I believe. The social life was fun, but the work not so much. So, after nearly 2 years, I chucked this reasonably well-paid job to go and work, to follow my dreams, to work in a big commercial riding centre in North London, following my dream and my passion. And after having trained for my British Horse Society Assistant Instructor's qualification, I came back to Swindon to run my own business, to do freelance work. And through the Government Enterprise Allowance Scheme, being paid £40 a week for a year, I was able to set up my own business. I set up equestrian services, where I did anything to do with horses. I drove 600 miles a week between Marlborough and Cirencester. I rode up to 6 horses a day for other people. I did riding lessons and schooling horses and running a livery yard and running riding horse shows. I worked at a stud with mares and foals and stallions. I worked at a rehabilitation centre for horses. And I also lectured in Swindon College, an evening class called Understanding Horses. And I enjoyed doing this, standing in front of students who were interested in what I was doing, what I had to say. And through this time, I had collected an eclectic mix of horses and ponies of my own. And so I moved forward into the second phase of my life, the responsible adult. And I got married and I had my son. And my son was the most important thing to me. I still did equestrian services, I still ran the yard, I still had some horses. But my concentration was on caring for this child and guiding this child. And so when he was about 9, I realised that the school system was failing him badly. And I decided to home educate. And home education was a whirlwind of fun. We met so many people who also home educated. We did so many different things, learning. And so, through this, I nurtured him. I was the nurturer, the carer, the mother, and I helped facilitate his learning. I would discuss things with him, and I would listen to his opinions. I learnt unconditional love and caring. And so now, my son is moving forward into the second phase of his life. And I'm here now moving forward into the third phase of my life. And so here I am. I live at Gable End Farm. What I've always wanted was my own land for my horses. I'm setting up a campsite there. I'm offering grass livery for retired horses. I have a house in Swindon, a house that I was born in and I grew up in, that we inherited. We now let it for corporate holiday let through a management agency. We call it Lavender Harmony House. I've always wanted a house in France. I love France. I fell in love with France in the first phase of my life. When I went and stayed there, I did a school exchange and I lived with a family, Danny and her family. And so I always wanted to go back to live or visit that region. And it's now 50 years since I fell in love with France. I now have a house called Chez Tournesol. Chez Tournesol means home of the sunflower. I had it painted yellow, and that is the region of the sunflowers. This year, for the first time, I've been able to let it as a holiday let through Airbnb. It was set up in 2019, ready to go in 2020, but we all know what happened next. And it wasn't very good. So, I'm looking at that passive income. That's where I'm going. I'm also promoting the book that I've written called Radical Home Education, which is about my life with my son through home education and into adulthood. I'm writing other online courses. I'm planning to write more books about my radical life. And I'm moving into my radical living community. And so, I am that crone, that hag, that witch, that crown, that holy crown of wisdom.